I got asked, what did I think about the Dirk Nowitzki, almost Kobe Bryant, his teammates? Because Mark Cuban still talks about it. It would have been interesting. You know, Dirk Nowitzki never gets his due as a teammate. The deal would have been Josh Howard, Jason Terry, and some first round picks to the Lakers for him until Mitch Kupchak talked Kobe out of it. Kobe had had enough. It was like, will I ever win without Shaq? That was the big elephant in the room. Couldn't happen. And it didn't like it was going to happen because he was stuck with some third tier squad, low second, high third. Him and Lamar Odom was not happening. That Jordan Pippen situation wasn't going to happen. Him and Dirk would have been interesting because even though Dirk's an outside fadeaway player, his style would have worked good with Kobe. You could play with Dirk. You could play with Dirk. Dirk got to a point where he got to another level of his, maturation as a great player. He's kind of almost forgotten now when you talk about players. He's got the quietest 30,000 points. If we was talking about people, Dirk has almost been kind of swept under because with the onslaught of the Luka Doncic who's been getting the love and Giannis and Jokic, Dirk's almost getting kind of forgotten. You know, as more foreign players come along and scoring and everything. But Dirk was pretty instrumental with how, everything with the Mavericks. Kobe with Dirk would have been interesting. I think Shaq with Dirk would have been scary. I think Dirk was a gorilla, a underrated teammate. I don't think he gets his due. And obviously, when they won the chip over Miami, he showed what he was made of. He shut a lot of people up. I think there's been this low key not to give him his due, and it's unfortunate. But that man could really play. Really is the truth. Not somebody that's it's no gimmick ball with Dirk. Dirk could really shoot, could really play, and the components with them would have been interesting. The pieces they would have had around him. I think it could have been an interesting look if he was to team up with somebody. But Kobe did fall out with the Bus family, the GMs. There's a lot of theories as to why they're trying to distance themselves from Kobe and hyping LeBron factor with Jenny Bus and stuff. The rings and winning does, quiet some things down, but there was a tension because they were in over their heads and they weren't really happening. And it wasn't happening because you do have to have a squad around you while you can peak, not for all of it. But the bottom line is this for anyone who ever wants to debate me, how do you ever replace a Shaquille O'Neal? Even though Shaq had starting to fall off at the moment one and it started rolling, how do you replace that? Because I'm not gonna lie, when Shaq left LA, that was kind of like Babe Ruth leaving the Red Sox going to the Yankees. When you get a talent that is that impactful, it can have that kind of situation. And as I always say, you never let a ring go out the door. You know, wish them well. Maybe if they make the playoffs about 5, 10 years later, that's cool. Maybe if they start winning, you ain't gonna hear the end of it. So that would have been an interesting situation had that occurred. There's one of them near wonder what ifs if him and Dirk had played together. That would have been interesting because they're very prolific scorers. Would have been for some exciting basketball style wise. And I do believe they both would have taken something to heat off each other in different ways and capacities. But that is kind of like a wonder what if those two had played together, how they would have been coached, how their styles would have gelled, what it would have been like. Because um, you just kind of think about it. And Dirk is one of those guys that I don't think gets enough due as a teammate. I don't think he gets enough due. I think he's been kind of, like I said, he doesn't get his due. So it definitely would have been interesting. But tell me what you think. What do you think would have happened if Kobe Bryant and Dirk Nowitzki had teamed up? Do you think they would have won a chip? Do you think they've been a contending team? Good for 2 rounds, barely make the playoffs, not make the playoffs? Do you think it would have impacted their legacy? It got my attention because Mark Cuban was bringing it up recently. I'm just curious. So please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like and hit that membership because when you request things, I bring them to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay true, stay real, stay focused. Stay woke. I'm out one time. Peace.